Welcome back, guys. I know I haven't done a video in a while. I've been busy, but this is a great time to go ahead and show you guys my new favorite deck of this. Well, the format hasn't really changed. It's still being dominated by Imperial Dramon, but I actually really like this deck. So let's get right into it with the Sakuyamon deck. All right, so I play 4 Viximon. I don't play 5 eggs. What you want in this deck, you want to draw, and the only other draw cards are Upamon, where if you have 3 or less security, you get to draw 1, or Cupidmon, where if you have like 5 or more, or I think 6 or more, one of the two. But since Sakuyamon is not a recovery or even a security control deck, you don't really want those, and there isn't really a good backup. So you want to play just the 4 Viximon. Like, I would not play any other eggs. You're not likely to stall long enough to really use up all your eggs anyway. This is actually a very fast-paced deck, so the 4 Viximon should be all you need. All right, so let's move right into rookies. I play 4 Renamon, of course. On play, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. Add 1 with Cubimon, Taomon, or Sakuyamon in its name, and 1 Rika, Nonaka among them to your hand. So you can grab, essentially, at best, 2 cards. Grab the missing champion, ultimate, mega, whatever you're missing. Place the remaining on the bottom of your deck. That's pretty standard. And then its inherit effect is probably the best part, where once per turn, when you use an option card with a cost of 2 or more, gain 1 memory. Now, guys, that's all your plugins, but that doesn't have to be just your plugins. So you can play your memory boost, your yellow, your any of your control yellow cards that a lot of people play, you know, like Spiral Masquerade, Wyvern Breath. This essentially makes it 1 cheaper. But in our version, obviously, we're going to be playing a lot of plugins and some memory boost. All right, so 4. I'll also start recording some games. I know I've been saying I would, but it's been really hectic lately. All right, 4 Patamons. This is the starter deck one. This has been going up continuously because it has been going up since set A, because this Patamon is being used with Rapidmon a lot. So Rapidmon yellow hybrid decks, which is actually one of the best decks right now as well. So it's the once per turn when an opponent's Digimon is deleted by dropping to 0 DP, gain 1 memory. Sakuyamon also controls by dropping your opponent's Digimon to 0, but they do it very slowly. Or, well, not slowly, but in small increments of 2,000-3,000. I'll show you guys. But yeah, I'll be starting to record some matches. I keep forgetting to bring the camera stand to the shop. All right, 4 Pulsemon. Pulsemon, yes, I am playing Pulsemon. You gotta go ahead and grab your set. These are still like $10, which is not the worst because they've been a lot more expensive. Trust me, when it first came out, this thing was like $30-$40. I played Pulsemon for the early draws. You need to dig in this deck to get your plugins really early, and then late game, when you actually start to abuse your Digivolution plugins, when you go down to 3 or fewer security, this is essentially 2 costs, so you can play this and then have like your Renamon line, and then swing with Rika, and then abuse your plugins, evolution plugins. So you do need some stuff to hard play, but for the early game, you do want it just for the draw. So that's 12 rookies, a little less than I normally like. I normally like 14, because you want to never miss your hatch and then evolve early game. I hate missing it, but usually I play like 3 sets of something critical and then like something control base. And in yellow, there is Cupidmon, which prevents your opponent from reducing Digivolution cost, and that's not really that prevalent right now. So I'm not playing the Cupidmon. Instead, I'm deciding to add in some other options and some text here and there. All right, next we have 4 Cubimon. When Digivolving, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 option with plugin. That's really good. So this is not a deck that can hide in the breeding area and then move it up. You actually need to move the stuff out, which is again why Pulsemon is really good, because you can evolve. You can play the Pulsemon. You need stuff that you have to play anyway, so you have to play it and then evolve. So you need your Digimon on board. So you get a lot of these when Digivolving effects. so they obviously need to be out. But it also has, here's part of the small, DP reduction. When you use an option card with 2 or more, a cost of 2 or more, one of your opponent's Digimon get minus 2k DP. And that's a little part of it. The rest comes from Taomon and Sakuyamon. All right, I got 4 Pedomon. I know a lot of people don't play blockers right now, but it's, again, because it's a cheap evolution, and if you hard play some stuff, and this deck needs some kind of protection, you need to protect your Sakuyamon. Sakuyamon has the on-digivolving effect, and then where it restands and recycles your options, but it has like no protection to itself. So you need to go ahead and play these so you don't lose your Sakuyamon, because even though the effects are done with Sakuyamon, you still need it for its name to attack and activate Rika to use your plugins. So this deck really just abuses the plugins, and specifically the Digivolution plugin. But we'll get more into that when we get there. All right. Then we got 4 Turimon, 1 cost evolution. Again, you hard playing some, you hard playing, for example, Pulsemon late game, evolve this for 1. So you essentially pay 3 cost because Pulsemon is reduced to 2. Well, you gain a memory back when you hard play Pulsemon late in the game, and then you evolve it for 1, and then you can evolve into like an ultimate. So you build up really quickly in this deck, and you build up to the ultimate by abusing the plugin. All right, I never thought I'd be playing this again, but like this is still a really good card. Rise Greymon from like 1.5. This is the little special box ones, and you play this because when you Digivolve, again, you have a lot of when Digivolving effects in this deck. When you Digivolve, you may play 1 yellow Tamer without paying its memory cost. Any on-play effects with this effect don't activate. That doesn't matter. It used to matter because, you wanted to play like TK and something with a on-play effect. But the Tamers we play in this deck do not have on-play effects, and they're 4 cost, and you really want to just abuse the free play. Same with Taomon. Taomon essentially does the same thing. And then this is not as important, but it is good to have, because when you have 3 or more yellow Tamer in play, this Digimon gets security +1. That does actually come in really handy. I've been playtesting a lot, and I might actually bump this up to 3. Like, I don't think I'm seeing it enough, and I actually want to see him more than I want to see Taomon a lot of the times. But you kind of have to have Taomon because of his name. All right. Oh yeah, I play 12 champions and then 6 ultimates. It's usually about my right lineup. All right, so 4 Taomon. When Digivolving, you may play 1 Rika Anonica from your hand without paying its memory cost. All right, so this one is not as good because it's not as generic. You can't play any Tamer. You can only play Rika, so you have to have Rika, which is why I prefer the Rise Greymon, because you can play any of the Tamers you have in this deck. But however, Rika is the one you want to see more of. It's the one you play at max 4 copies. And then it does have the Taomon name, which Rika needs to trigger to abuse the option. So you really do need the Taomon. And no, I don't want to play the old Taomon because it has no effects other than, I believe it's like security, Digimon gets -1k on your opponent's side or something like that. And the old Cubimon essentially does the same thing. I don't really want to play those. I'd rather have these effects. I mean, I might play the old champion Cubimon, but as far as ultimates go, these are the best ones just to get your Tamers out. All right. Once per turn, when you use an option card with 2 or more, one of your opponents get -2k DP. So that essentially, if you build it on Cubimon or have Cubimon out and a Taomon out, underneath, every option you activate is -4k. All right, so 6 ultimates. All right, and then the real MVP, of course, is Sakuyamon, so you play this at 4. When Digivolving, unsuspend one of your Digimon, and for each Tamer you have in play, return 1 option with plug-in from your trash to your hand. See, that's why we need to play a bunch of the Tamers, because we need to really abuse this. We need to really abuse this effect. Every time you make a new stack, you make the stacks really easy with the Digivolution plugin, and I'll show a little more. All right, and then when you use an option card with a cost of 2 or more, one of your opponents get -3. Now, this is not a once per turn effect. So if you can keep on paying the options, which you will, you can keep on minusing 3. So it's already a -7 if you have this, the Cubimon, and the Taomon, right? If you can activate 2 more options, which is not hard in this deck, guys. Like, it's really easy. If you activate 2 more options, you're going to kill megas. Like, that's actually really amazing. And then that's also why you don't really need to play like Wyvern Breath, Spiral Masquerade, because the board in this deck does not get that wide. You're making like maybe 2 large stacks. This is like a medium-sized board deck. Like, you're gonna have like 2, maybe 3, depending. Well, I guess depending on the kind of deck you're facing. If it's like super control, you really can't do much about it. You do, however, get a bunch of memory. So if you do go against a control deck, you need to get to a turn where you can have a bunch of memory out, and then start doing stuff. But yeah, also the unsuspend is really important because Rika only activates options by tapping her when you're swinging with something with Renamon, Cubimon, Taomon, or Sakuyamon. So you do like swing with Taomon or something, activate like a Digivolution option or, you know, a jamming option, something, and then evolve into her. Then you get to unsuspend it. So, and then, you know, recycle the options. All right. Then I do have one War Greymon. This is because it's a 3 cost. It also can unsuspend and -6 DP. So a lot of the games I've been playing, I would make like 1 column of Sakuyamon and then already have a second one at the ready, and then swing with the Sakuyamon, tap Rika, evolve War Greymon for free off of the Rika effect to play a plugin, and then because it's a 3 cost, you can evolve it. Otherwise, if it wasn't for, you know, the combo to really abuse the Digivolution options, I would actually play Shine Greymon, considering how many Tamers I play. But Shine Greymon is 4 costs, so you actually can't use it with the Digivolution plugin. I mean, you could evolve it and then minus a bunch of 4s, but honestly, this guy is such a good finisher. And, you know, so I play 1 copy. And then he's actually really good on Rise Greymon when you got 3 Tamers out. He essentially swings for 2 checks, unsuspend, swing for 2 checks again, and you could potentially get rid of something with the 6K, so you have a little bit of control there. All right, for Rikas, I normally do not like playing 4 memory Tamers, but I'm making an exception for her, okay? Because you really need her. You really, really want her. Like, if you have 2 memory, set your memory 3, standard, all right? That's good. That's good. But what we really want is when you attack with the Digimon with Renamon, Cubimon, Taomon, or Sakuyamon, you may suspend this Tamer to use 1 option with plug in its name from your hand without paying its memory cost. So you get to play option cards, plug-in option cards specifically, without paying their cost. So, I mean, it's not costing a lot to do it, but like, since we're in this build, we're abusing the crap out of the Digivolution one, which means you can essentially just keep on building stacks on stacks, making it like you can build your megas fairly quick, and depending on how many you have out, and then it's not like once you use them, you're done, because if you the more you have out, the more you can use, the more you can recycle with Sakuyamon. Like, this deck is so good, like synergy wise. Otherwise, like normally in my decks, I don't like to clog my decks. Even like in Imperial Dramon, I don't clog my decks with like 4 Davises, because once you have 1 out, that's all you need. Because, you know, you just set your memory to 3. It's not stacking or anything, but her effect is just too good not to have. So yeah, she's real MVP. Next, we have 3K TK Karis. I wanted this for more Tamers, and this is the one that stacks, and it can get -1K DP, you know, like, and then you also can play this one for free off of Rise Greymon. That's also another reason I want to bump up to Rise Greymon, because sometimes, like, there are some times where I don't have the Rikas, but I have this one, and, you know, like, if you fall behind because this deck doesn't really recover, well, actually, it doesn't recover, you can get the memory, you could get the plus memory to like build your board back faster and stronger, depending on if you're playing like against a control deck. All right, 2 yellow memory boost. This is because, you know, I've been liking the memory boost a lot, the searcher one specifically, because again, control decks, there are times where you're just at the disadvantage, but you need just like a good turn to pop off. So sometimes it is better not to play a Digimon. For example, you know, if you're going up against Pyldramon, Imperial Dramon, or Black or Greymon, where they already have something that can attack unsuspended, none of your stuff is safe out here. So you're going to have to build your board in the back, or in the breeding area. Not a board, but your stack in the breeding area, and get ready to go into Sakuyamon. So like you need the memory for the next turn, which is why like I've been liking the memory boost more and more. And then plus, because it is still an option that you can get, you know, 2 memory, well, you can get 2 memory later, you still also get the memory now if you have something out, you know, like off of Renamon, or you get all the effects off of the Renamon line. All right, so like if you have a Sakuyamon, you can essentially -7. This being like activating this for like a 3 cost, not to even really mean to -7, but you get the -7. Like, that's so good. All right, MVP for Digivolution plugin, no question. Avoid, you have to have a Tamer out to use this without meeting its color requirement. You have to have a Tamer out, otherwise it's a green card. All right, so draw 1, then you may Digivolve one of your Digimon into a Digimon in your hand that can Digivolve for a Digivolution cost of 3 or less without paying its Digivolution cost. So we play this for free. Or you don't have to. Like, I mean, again, like if you don't have the Rika, you're not paying it for free, but you can still reduce cost, or even just use it as a draw. Like, you're gonna, for example, evolve into Rise Greymon. You can use this. There's no limitation on what level you can use it at. So like, say you evolve one of your champions to Rise Greymon, you can essentially save yourself a 1 cost. And you get the draw, and then you evolve into Rise Greymon, play another Tamer, and draw on Digivolution as well. And then security effect, reveal the top 3 card of your deck, add 1 Digimon. That's actually pretty good as well. But yeah, we abused the crap out of this. So this is a must at 4. The one I don't play is the red one to get security +1. But I do play the high speed plugin, which, you know, also I need a Tamer, but one of your Digimon gets jamming. Now the reason I play this is because sometimes you want to swing with like Taomon or Cubimon, or even, you know, Sakuyamon, but like Taomon or Cubimon, you swing and you have your Rika out, you tap, this way it doesn't die. Like, you need it to survive. So like, say, but you still need it to, you know, get suspended so you can actually get the full effect of Sakuyamon off. But yeah, so I play 2 of, and then its security is draw 1. The red one isn't as good. You don't really need the security +1. Sometimes I wish I had it, but like, I honestly don't have room in this deck. Like, if I had the room, I would actually play the 1 yellow reinforcement memory boost, or like, you know, like I said, 3 Rise Greymons. But yeah, this deck is super fun, super fun. I love it. I will do some test or some match videos and post them later this week, maybe Thursday or maybe this weekend. But I do have, for my next video, I will be doing like a Mother Reaper deck, and I'll be explaining like the different kinds of Mother Reaper deck. And what I mean by that, it would be like, there's like a lot of people are playing like different color Mother Reaper deck, like different stall engines. Mine is personally going to be the yellow one, but I will be explaining the other ones. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe. See you next time.